What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and today in this video we're going to take a look at the new exotic items that XUR has brought to us, and this is his inventory in case you're wondering. It's not the best yet, but it's still got some interesting stuff to look at. Of course, we've got a legacy engram which you don't want to buy. This is only going to give you year 1 old exotics with low attack values, so you don't want to buy that only if you're a collector and for some reason you want to get some year 1 exotics. That is what you want to buy, but otherwise do not go anywhere near that thing. He's actually not selling a normal engram because that is on rotation. Some weeks he's going to sell a specific weapon, and some weeks he's just going to sell an exotic engram for it. So this week he's selling a weapon which you can see is the Hawkmoon, which we're going to talk about in a second, but we can see the armor pieces. He's got the year 2 version of Ruin Wings, and that's of course a very good set of Titan gauntlets that you can pick up to increase your heavy ammo drops. Then we've got something brand new, and these are the sealed Ahamkara's grasp for the hunter, which I've picked up, and as you can see they look awesome. I love the armor on the hands and the fingers. It looks really cool when you're reloading and throwing grenades and stuff like that, so really cool aesthetically. And obviously the perks are equally impressive, which we're going to look at right now. The main perk is Nightmare Fuel. This gives you 2 melee charges and also has a chance for melee damage to reload your primary, which is kind of a gimmicky perk, not really too important. The main feature, of course, in that perk is the ability to have 2 melee charges, which is very, very cool. And that's the same as the claws of Ahamkara for the Warlock, so definitely a similar relation right there. Another cool thing about this is the benefits of the Night Stalker, which I'm currently running on my Hunter class. And the Night Stalker, of course, has a smoke grenade instead of his melee, so you get double smoke grenades with these gauntlets, which is super cool and super useful if you use them with the Toxin to stun enemies and damage them, or to go invisible. And you can now hold 2 of these charges, which is definitely going to help me out. And I personally run the invisibility feature on my grenades, so I'm going to love having 2 of those around. So for my Hunter, these are probably some of the most useful new exotics that I've got for year 2 in terms of PvE exotics. Obviously, I've got some things like the Knucklehead and the Actiphage, which are good for PvP, but in terms of PvE, these are going to be some of my most useful exotics to have. I'm definitely really glad that XUR was selling these. But if you have the Hunter and you've got some spare strange coins, I would recommend that you pick these up, and they are very worth the purchase, even though these ones right here are actually pure strength, which is quite a bad start roll to have. And if you don't know, the new exotics can actually have a rotation of any of the strength, intellect, and discipline. So these ones are actually strength, but you could possibly get some with intellect at some point if you got them through an engram or a loot drop. But these ones right here that XUR is selling are strength, which is the downside to having these. But moving on, we've got the year 2 version of Light Beyond Nemesis. That's another thing he's selling. That is, of course, a very good Warlock helmet. And then finally, we have the weapon. This is the year 2 Hawkmoon, and Hawkmoon is just an incredible weapon. It's a very, very good gun, and probably one of my favorite exotic weapons in the game for PvP. It's obviously more of a crucible weapon, and it's the only weapon I ever used during year 1. Even when Thorn and Last Word were running rampant, I always stuck with the Hawkmoon, and it's also the first time XUR has ever sold the Hawkmoon. Of course, it was a PlayStation exclusive weapon, so it was impossible for XUR to sell it because it couldn't be on both platforms. But now it's no longer exclusive, and it's funny that he actually sold it like in one of the first weeks that year 2 has been out. So now the Jade Rabbit is obviously the new Hawkmoon, so that is what XUR is never going to sell this year. But who knows, maybe in the first couple weeks of year 3, he's going to sell the Jade Rabbit. So this is the Hawkmoon. 100% pick this up, especially if you play even a little bit of Crucible. Definitely get this Hawkmoon, and it didn't actually get nerfed too badly in the 2.0 patch. It's still pretty much as good as it always was. So grab your Hawkmoon while you still can. It is definitely an amazing weapon. Like I've said, you will not regret it. And of course, in the bottom there, he's got the usual stuff. He's got vehicle drives, heavy sim. He's got 3 of coins, which has now been nerfed. So unfortunately, if you'd hoped to farm ultras and get a ton of exotic engrams, unfortunately that has now been patched, as you might have seen in my videos. That has been patched, and the 3 of coins is no longer as effective. But anyway, that has been a look at XUR's inventory and some brand new exotics in Destiny Taken King. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys have picked up of XUR today and what you think is most interesting to you. I'll be really interested to see what you guys think is cool from his inventory. But drop a like rating on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.